why this war will definitely bring a big change. Now, according to an expert, this situation has evolved, and this is a direct result of the continuation of the longest occupation in modern history, Israeli occupation of Palestinians' land since 1967. This is a 56 years of occupation that has transformed into a system of apartheid, a much worse apartheid than what we have seen in South Africa. Yes, maybe Hamas did not recognize the state of Israel, but PLO and the Palestinian authorities did. But in return, what they got? Nothing. So, dear brothers and sisters, when we talk about this occupation, this is going on for a long time, and this is coming from people who are oppressed. And when you are dealing with people who are oppressed, you better be careful. Now, according to many experts, from the year 2014, the Israeli governments would not even meet with Palestinians. I mean, can you imagine? You are occupying somebody else's land, and you are not even willing to talk to them, and would never engage in any kind of dialogue with them. And what you see today is a reaction to several things. First of all, settlers, terrorist attacks on Palestinians in the West Bank that has evaded. I mean, this attack on the Palestinians in the West Bank, it created a huge mass problem, and they have actually wiped out almost like 20 communities in an act of ethnic cleansing of 248 Palestinians who were killed by the Israeli army, and the number goes on and on. I mean, just giving you some rough idea about the casualties that these people they faced. But definitely this is going to be a game changer, simply because, again, we have never expected something like this for a very long time, and everybody's just talking about this, that how could this group can come up and inflict such a blow to the Israeli army, to IDF and the Israeli government, quite frankly. And so we are hoping to see some significant changes after this. So in the West Bank, including 40 children, I mean, can you imagine, were killed. And then we have attacks on the Masjid al-Aqsa, the holy sites. The Muslims and also the Christians, they are suffering from this injustice and oppression coming from the extremist Israeli, the Yahudi, as well as, declaration of Netanyahu. Now he's saying that he's going to be liquidating the Palestinian rights. That's exactly what he said. And the Palestinian cause by normalization with Arab countries. This is the guy who is talking about normalizing relationships with Saudi Arabia and many other Muslim countries, and at the same time giving the Palestinians no right, no dignity, no land, nothing. This is the audacity that he has. And so countries, we are seeing at the same time, they are very, very quiet, especially the Muslim countries. They're not saying anything. And he dared even to go to the United Nations. Netanyahu, as you can see, he went to the UN and he pulled up a map, world map, and he was showing to the whole world how Palestinians are creating trouble for Israel. I mean, this is the level of oppression that people are now willing to accept, coming from the UN. You do not take these things lightly. A person in the UN talking about annihilating a nation, ethnic cleansing, and you are keeping quiet. And this is exactly why we are seeing what we are seeing today. Now, the whole of the West Bank, all of Gaza, all of Jerusalem, as well as Golan Heights, he declared the annexation of the occupied territories. So, of course, Palestinians turn to resistance because of that. Every country, they have the right. Now, the interesting thing is they will tolerate anybody's resistance, i.e. Ukrainian standing up against Russian forces. But what they will not tolerate is when you have Palestinians rising and demanding their own rights. So he is doing this annexation of the Golan Heights. He's doing this. He's cutting completely Palestinians off of these lands and declaring that these are the places where the settlers will go. They see that this is the only way. So the Palestinians, they see this is the only way for them to get their rights. The question is here is not about dehumanizing Palestinians as it is happening right now, because people are now freaking out, oh, Palestinians banned and this and that, and calling them terrorists. It's about asking the question why US support Ukraine in fighting what they call occupation. Well, we have Israel doing exactly the same thing as the Russian forces in Ukraine, but they are not being labeled as terrorists. I mean, we have seen so many attacks by Ukrainian, quote unquote, brave, courageous soldiers on Russian soil, and they label them pretty much as the war hero. But the same thing when Palestinians they label them as terrorists. And so this is a double standard going on for a very long time. So why they do this? They follow this double standard, the United States? Well, that's the question we need to ask. And we need to support the whole world, whoever will be rallying behind for the Palestinian cause and will be willing to actually hold Israel accountable, whether this is an individual or this is a country. We need to support all of those people who are supporting the Palestinian, supporting what is right. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day.